stuff. And his name is Joseph Cipollone also too, and he's on the website. You can get a lot of his, you can download a lot of his newsletters as well as some of his articles. And some of his articles also too. But I'll give you that www.com number. Some of the people, you know, that's got access to the web, which at this particular time ain't no big deal. Most people do. I know somebody that does. That's the AL. And link dot which one? Yeah, sure. Alpha man. You're right.
It's P-H-A.
You're damn sure it is. I'm going to fucking fast. P-H-A-L-I-N-K. That's it. .com. And this is an old paper, so what you would do is you would put March. You know, you put March down here, 97, March 99, so it would be March 99 .htm. And that's the way you do it. This is one from 97. And get that, you know, the name of the guy is, let me see if I can spell this right. This is what he goes by here, it's Joseph Cipollone, but, what he has on the actual newsletter. And he has up-to-date information, which is very key because there's a cult war going on right now. You can get a glimpse of that cult war in a movie called Pie. Rent the movie Pie. You know, which would deal with also too. Anyway, this is the guy, this is one of the guys on the internet to actually access. Is Joseph Cipollone. He's what is called a Gnostic. He's been studying the Gnostic text for quite some time and talks a lot of shit. So, but he's basically in a battle with other white New Age groups and all. So it's a whole battle going on. And it's not just that. There's a whole war going on with him versus people like the Celestine Prophecy people, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, as well as you got the OTO. You got Kenneth Grant out of England. There's a fight with what is called the Typhonian OTO. They are in a fight with another faction of a particular group, which is the basic staunch Crawley believers. You know, and then you also have all other esoteric groups also fighting against Jews, you know. So it's a whole war going on, which is very key because it's also said, because this is not just a war on the lower links, if you understand, based on the people who are being run by the secret societies, which would be, you know, the whole Clinton thing. There's also a war going on within the secret society. You see what I'm saying? If it's not necessarily a physical war, it's a war based on tempers and intellectualism and basically mean-spirited name-calling, as well as other things. And it could be some stuff based on death, because you know that happened also with the group out of Switzerland back in 1994. You know, the white people ended up dying, and it was a spin-off of a Crawley group, a OTO group. And I say that because it was also that Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that you'll know that the end is here when there's infighting amongst the elite. You see, you on? Yeah, when there's infighting amongst the elite. You know, but on the other hand, sweating. But on the other hand, we know that the whole infighting is going on based on the Clinton and the whole Democrat and Republican thing. But then again, on the other hand, we understand that that's only a ghost thing. That's only something that's being run by some higher people. But then again, by some higher people or their particular boss. So the information that's going on with this particular guy here, his particular newsletters, as well as other people, is literally an adventure into that world. You literally tap into that world of what's going on in the occult world, as far as them fighting like cats and dogs also too. As well as a lot of other things that's also going down. You know. So I guess we we might as well just go ahead and just pump it on up. Let's see. And let me get out some books and stuff first. Is the clean transaction? You see what I'm saying? Let me get out my notes. Hell, that's what I need to do. Let me get out my notes first, and then we can start this thing up.
Yeah, that's clean.
Yeah, okay. Let me get out my notes. Okay, hold on 1 minute.
We have last night's lecture available with Henry Bernardo of YGK, which is a very good lecture. Most of the tapes we sell, there'll be another one back there, some CDs. And I'll put some of the lectures on CDs. A lot of the money that we make off the tapes and the videos and the lectures go right back into it. See, keep bringing speakers like this to this community. And we're working on new spots. And these new spots cost a lot more money than the density. They want us out of the density. They don't want any type of metaphysical. This is what I was told personally. So please try to support the vendors who come, have a table back there. And Bobby is going to be talking about the black sebek and the chaos code. So all the way from New Atlantis, Georgia, Bobby Hemmitt.
As we go on, like I said now, I don't really like to plug anything and all, but like I said, some of the information that we're going to be dealing with also too is in the 2 books, as well as some things on the counterfeit spirit. So if anybody's interested in those particular books, you can either come up now, you can come up during the break and get some of these, get the ones, because it's 2 things on Titan 1 and Titan 2. Basically, to get into this particular thing, what you saw with the Bill Clinton impeachment was something that is greater than what you really think it is. And I'm going to explain what was actually happening. Because as you know, these people met on 2 Saturdays to impeach this man. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, it's almost like right after Christmas, after they so-called impeached him, they just let him go. So it also means if a person is that vigorous in trying to impeach this man and trying to go through this particular thing, or go through this particular ritual, you see what I'm saying? The end result does not doggone coincide with the beginning. It doesn't line up. How is it that these people almost went to hell and high water to impeach him, and then all of a sudden, literally, they don't even go and sanction the man. They just go, well, you free to go. That means that their goals and objectives was met. And then you must understand what's really going on based on there's nothing out here done based on something that he really screwed around and all that kind of shit. Everything is done based on the greater mystery, basically occult type of information or occult type movements, occult type rituals, because they're getting their orders from their boss. Now everybody knows, most of the people should know at this particular time that the government is not necessarily run by the government. So therefore, if they got an impeachment going on, there's got to be something greater. And so that's what we need to get into tonight as far as what actually went down. What actually went down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna put all this here over here, and put all this over here. And what we're gonna do? Got my notes lined up, and there's so much going down. I guess we just gotta start from square one. You see what I'm saying? Start from square one. And like he's saying, I believe there's a conspiracy in New York to literally stop people from speaking in the aspect is everybody's having problems finding places. You see what I'm saying? Either the place is too high, or either, you see, they just telling you straight up that you can't come back in. We know that this whole thing started with the whole slave theater type thing. So we know for the simple fact that they was kicking the slave theater out every other month. You see what I'm saying? Automatically, the boys, that we know that in actuality that there's a drive to stop consciousness in the inner city, not just here, but in Atlanta. Take for instance. Now, we had one of the baddest radio stations in the country. We could get on there and say what the hell we wanted to. You see what I'm saying? Radio Free Georgia. Then all of a sudden 99 came in and they done literally got rid of all the speakers. The sister that I was with for years, Sister Afrikini, she ended her show the first of 99. But my point is, meanwhile, white talk radio is #1 across the country. You see. And not only that, they get on there and say what the hell they want and talk all kind of shit. You see what I'm saying? But on the other hand, this thing is being shut down all over the place. Not just like they ended your talk radio, what, a couple of years ago?
WLIB, they
you see what I'm saying? They cut all that down and stuff. Mm-hmm. So now white people is more talk radio. Yeah. Black people is more music, less talk. That's the foot going all over the fucking country. Mm-hmm. More music, less talk. Right. When if anybody needs to be talking, it's us. But that's the key. Talk radio is huge around the country, but when it comes to us and all, they shut it down, whereas I can't even get on a spot nowhere in the country. I was in Chicago a month and a half ago, and sure enough, the brother said, we were going to get you on the radio, and I already knew, leaving Atlanta, that the guy was going to call, or he wasn't going to call and say some stuff, you know. Because as soon as the brother shipped a little resume over, you see what I'm saying and all, that was it. You see, the brother didn't even call. I've been trying to get on the radio here since '93, nothing. You see what I'm saying? I was on the radio in Philadelphia one time, we just literally came in and they didn't know who the hell I was. Yeah. So I came up in there, but that was it. You see what I'm saying? We had to do the same thing in Detroit one time. I just came in and they said, oh yeah, you know, shit, the DJ was wondering what he was going to say, so he was glad to have somebody, you know, to fill in. But after that, so this is the key that's going on all over the country, you see, as well as the places here. So now you don't even have the venues no more. The stuff is all shut down because it's Jimmy Giuliani, but his boss and everybody else is saying, look, they cannot even have the spaces available now. You see. So if you're conscious, if you know anybody that's conscious, it is imperative that in actuality they give up some space and come down on the prices and stuff. But the simple fact is, this is our form of education now. You see. Education. So we know that they won't even let Burke come back, right? You see, so based on the way things is more than likely, you know, we're gonna be out of here. And all, but that's just the way it is. I mean, it's going on all over the place. All over the place. So this is very key. And then you got these other people, man. These other people want to charge an arm and a leg because some people just basically don't see the value in nothing. You see what I'm saying? Positive or whatever. If Michael Jackson or Lauryn Hill or Michael George want to do, they probably give them the place for free. You see what I'm saying? But that's where the values are, in ignorance. So it's just the way it is. But it goes to tell you what type of time we're actually dealing with. So now, let me get my libation list out and we can start pouring libations. And I got everything else. And we can go from there. Like I said, get my libation list. A lot of this particular stuff I'll get down the road, but we'll get to this thing. Let's give the ancestors and the gods their particular nourishment, you know. And like I've been saying, the libation list is also for what is called psychic detectives, you know, when the 49 people killed themselves, the Heaven's Gate people, up comes a guy by the name of Courtney Brown, who was a remote viewer from Emory University. And remote viewing is basically psychic spying, which they learn how to spy on you miles away in the same city, and they can literally tune in. That's what the tuning was you saw in Dark City, you see. So they can literally tune in. So basically, you also pour your libations also in family meetings, basically, for the simple fact you don't want nobody tuning in and hearing what you got to say. They're going to get it anyway. We just don't want them to say it. We just don't want them to hear it at the actual moment. You see what I'm saying? But they're going to get it as soon as the lecture's over, because that's the policy of some people that's working for them, is to come and buy up all the conscious videos and ship them off to these particular places. You see what I'm saying? These particular places. So they was on Art Bell of the month, the guy on there, which is Courtney Brown's boss. And in so many words, they were saying, you know, we remote viewing Satan. We know that who this Satan fella is, and we were remote viewing Satan. Well, anyway, first of all, they're not talking about no white person. You see what I'm saying? One man's God is another man's devil. And the only motherfucker talking about the devil in a timely fashion, as you know, is me, when we deal with the type of science. So I already know what the deal is, because they even went as far as to say, well, this guy's from a small town in South Carolina. You see, and on Art Bell show. So what it is one man's God is another man's devil. Now they're not remote viewing me shit. They just go and get the tapes. They got all the tapes, man. You know, they get everybody tapes. So that's, you know, they don't even have to remote view people. Hell, the niggas will send them the tapes for free. You see what I'm saying? So we understand the lingo and all, so it means that everybody's under observation at this particular time. Before we pour the libation, I want to say this particular thing, because it's interesting, because 2 Saturdays ago I did a lecture in Atlanta, and I mentioned that Farrakhan was sick, and then 3 days later they announced it on news. Now it wasn't so much of a psychic thing happening. It's just that some brothers called from Savior's Day and said my man was looking mighty bad up in Savior's Day, you know, like he was about dead. But this is the key why we should never ever sell out, because something happened on last Wednesday when the Village Voice broke this thing and it went all across the country. The crackers down on talk radio in Atlanta had a field day. They was calling all in, just rejoicing and talking about that old white magic. Just all types of stuff about his ass and his asshole and Farrakhan this and this type of thing. And I mean, these people literally let him have it. And I say, you know, it's interesting that this nigga sold the fuck out the last couple of years. That's apparent. Trying to get on the good side of these crackers. And these white people don't know nothing about no good side, because when you cross them, they are not like us. They don't never forgive you. That's one thing that's never going to actually happen, is they will never ever forgive you. So now he's all up there, all up in their face, and will talk to the white man, but won't talk to Colin. You see, won't speak to Colin for 5 minutes when they pass by each other in the actual in the airport. He won't even speak to him. But he'll go all up and sit all up on C-SPAN and talk to all these particular people. My point is this here. All up with Edgar Brockman, and, you know, the Seagram's, Jen Person, and all this type of stuff. My point is, he did all that trying to appease them the last couple of years. And soon as they heard about him and his doggone prostate cancer, them crackers was on TV talking. I mean, they were just literally having a field day on radio, talk radio, across the country, making jokes. So it's interesting that he had to go out that way. That's hindsight as a mother, because he, you know, just all up in them crackers' face the last couple of years, all on C-SPAN, done let doggone Colin have it, done took all the ministers from their posts and stuff and done threw them out in the street, Conrad and all that type of thing, you know. And a whole bunch of stuff went down and all, and he turned just whiter than ever, and he turned more Christian than Joseph Lowry. Joseph Lowry was up on the TV down in Atlanta sounding like Malcolm X, and Farrakhan sitting right beside him sounding like Martin Luther King. You know, But my point is, no, I can't even say that. He was signing something like Jerry Falwell. But my point is all that trying to appease them white people, and them white people turn right around that Wednesday when they announced about the prostate cancer, and man, they had a ball on this Negro's behind. So you would think that they're talking about all this loving and, you know, we all got to get together and all this kind of thing. Them white people don't never forgive you. Never, ever. We don't want to people forgive some people like the George Wallace shit. You know what I'm saying? Them white people don't forgive you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they literally had a field day on this whole thing. But yet, one of the keys is that he stepped to college before he shut college down. There's a whole other side to it. Well, I'll tell the side to it and all, but the simple fact is, this is the inside thing on what happened. You know the whole King's College incident, where he publicly went in there and chastised this man on national TV. First of all, that's a low blow for black people around the country, around the world, for you to get up there and apologize to the doggone Jews. You know what I'm saying? You see, based on something College said that you hadn't, and let's put it this way, College didn't say nothing that you hadn't said millions of times. But my point was the whole King's College thing was the second part. Literally what happened was if he stepped to College and told College that you cannot call a white man the devil no more. And as a result, he said, you can't call a white man the devil no more. You can call him the enemy, the oppressor, you know, all that old shit. You know, the goddamn Native Americans say that stuff and all, but you can't call him the devil no more. So, you know, Carter said he tried it for a couple of weeks and it just wasn't flowing. Hell, we talking Carter here. So, basically, in so many words, my point is literally, and then I just got a video where he was talking about Carter called a white man cracker. I don't like that word. Now, how many times you done heard Farrakhan call a damn white man cracker before? You know what I'm saying? But my point is, soon as he came down with this doggone, this thing flared up again, man, these white people had a field day on it. So it pays not to sell out under no circumstance. You see what I'm saying? It's not like they're going to come in your corner. And they let him know that Wednesday. I mean, you should have suffered. I even felt sad for the man. You see what I'm saying? But then again, on the other hand, you got to understand, anybody, you know, holy people don't come down with nothing. So he said that somebody poisoned him. But then again, on the other hand, if he was hooked up, they couldn't have poisoned him. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's this chicken's coming home to roost. You see what I'm saying? That whole thing. Now, my point is this here, to get into this particular thing, you got two factions that's going down. One faction is that, well, based on the boss people said, based on the Wall Street Journal article, was that Ben Chambers would take over. Well, first of all, you don't get on Wall Street Journal not unless you accept it by the mainstream or by the elite people. But number two, he embraced Wallace, you know, the one who tore up the Nation of Islam when they had Saviors Day. Wallace came to his aid. So now Farrakhan was not on the up and up as far as saying, you know, I'm a Jerry Falwell, a Jimmy Swaggart type of person. Wallace wouldn't have, because he's straight up CIA, you see. So for the mere fact that Wallace came to his aid for this last Saviors Day, that means in all that this whole thing, you see, that basically you just talking about sellout central. You know, and it's just sad that way. But then again, on the other hand, you see the flip side of that. You see what I'm saying? Homeboy has got one foot in the grave, and I don't think he's gonna recover from this one. If it is, it's somebody putting a new robot up to a machine, because the spirit realm ain't damn sure ain't gonna help him. You see what I'm saying? So that's something that just, you know, just look into. So let's pour the libations. Get everything flowing, and as we do that, like I said, I got my notes, and we literally, you know, a beautiful time when you see this doggone white boy go and bomb 2 or 3 people in the Stone Ages within 2 or 3 months from each other. You see what I'm saying? But then again, mind control is the number one key. The key is mind control. The number one key to everything is mind control. That's what you get. You got any more of these?
I can get some more.
Yeah. So, you know, you need to get a copy of this. But there's a new one out. It's on the Brother across the internet. It's real thick, with real technical one. But basically, the number one key to mind control, the first thing to mind control is, if you can distract the people, you can leave their subconscious mind wide open to do whatever the hell you want with it. So therefore, there's a lot of distraction going on. But then again, on the other hand, there's a big ritual, and I'm going to walk you through this on some things that happened right before Christmas. And also, to get into this particular thing. So, you know the drill. You know the drill based on giving the God's theirs. Okay. Awa. I say Oba, I say Iva, I say Sut Nessie, I say Sut Nubit, I say Bashashetu, I say Cthulhu, I say Hathor, I say Shibnigarah, I say Azathu, I say Azazel, I say Aniel, I say Nilahotep, I say Dagon, I say Dogon, I say Great Old Ones, I say Great Ones, I say Sut Nessie, I say Sut Nubit, I say Pataneka Unra, I say Parsefi, I say Thunderdog, I say Thunderbear, I say Taxi, I say Chayik, I say Oshosi, I say Olakum, I say Olaroon, I say Papagede, I say Newt, I say Apit, I say Tyre, I say Enana, I say Ishtar, I say Hera, I say Typhon, I say, listen. Oh, Ain, I say Ain Sada Uda, I say Ain Sada, I say Soph, I say Sophia, I say Keva, I say Shakma, I say Bina, I say Chesed, I say Deborah, I say Tiberet, I say Naksat, I say Had, I say Yased, I say Osea, I say Tahudi, I say Mayat, I say Minabis, I say Sut, I say Amin-Ra, I say Heheru, I say Anpu, I say Aset, I say Nebher, I say Sekmet, I say Seshet, I say Hamaku, I say Raheru Kahudi, I say Raheru Raha, I say Papaprat, I say Parsefi, I say Satis, I say Tatanan, I say Upwaret, I say Anu, I say, just pour the water in here, and then what we're going to do is just keep calling them. Brahma, I say Vishnu, I say Brahmini, I say Ramachandra, I say Sita, I say Hanuman, I say Indrasuda, I say Sita, I say Hanuman, I say Lakshmi, I say Jinsia, I say Dambawalawedo, I say Marasha, I say Bridget, I say Edamburgi, I say Ogufarelli, I say Ogushango, I say Azulu, I say Azuli, I say Legba, I say Zaka, I say Edoedo, I say Ishu, I say Alafi, I say Obakala, I say Odudawa, I say Arunla, I say Ogun, I say Oshango, I say Oshun, I say Legba, I say Yeminja, I say Risha Oku, I say Hard Sefi, I say Oya, I say Omitutu, Anitutu, I say Ilitutu, I say Kosika, I say Kosi Orun, I say Kosi Ofo, I say Kosi Intana, I say Kosi Papa, I say Akababawaya, I say Mojo Alapi, I say Mojo Risha, I say Mojo Itu, I say Mojo Iku, I say Nilumare Ormare Irun, I say Nikamase Ogogo, I say Babalase Ogogo Ilasa, I say Nikamasi, I say Ka, I say Amin-Ra, I say Ba, I say Ab, I say Ku, I say Sahu, I say Captain, I say Cat, I say Sekim, I say Oset, I say Sut, I say Ama, I say Niama.